Alright then, just taking a quick look at Vechain on our daily time frame for another daily update on the channel. As always, before we begin guys, do go down below and sign up to BITUNIX. They're giving you a 30% bonus if you deposit and trade on their platform. Deposit $1,000 and trade to receive a big $300 bonus instantly. Really good for getting a nice little bonus to be trading these markets right now. And we're just going to take a look at what Vechain's doing. So as we can see, in a bit of a weird spot, obviously we had the huge liquidation last week, which obviously came down, swept all this liquidity below the bear market range low. You can see Vechain here looking like it was starting to get into some bull market territory, slowly making higher highs and higher lows. Obviously we came up with the Trump pump, euphoria with Trump getting elected, and then we came down with the tariff dump at the start of the year. And then since then, Ethereum has come up and made a new all-time high and is currently near its all-time highs, whereas a lot of our altcoins have basically come down and then just been in a range since then. You can see Vechain putting in an even tighter range here, and I did say something big was going to happen at some point, and then we finally got this big liquidation to the downside. And right now Vechain looking in a bit of a dire spot, to be honest. You can see we've obviously come all the way down here, bounced all the way back up to around 1.6 cents there, bounced up into this big daily fair value gap, which is where Bitcoin has also been rejected. And now you can see Bitcoin coming up, getting rejected out of this huge daily fair value gap we created on the drop down. Pretty obvious to me that we were going to come down lower and sweep out this liquidity once I started to see this big rejection of this area here. Just a matter of time really. You can see Bitcoin creating this nice little trend line below of liquidity that people have probably got stop losses under. We've obviously come down, swept that. We've also swept out this low here. Currently looking like we're trying to bounce out of this fair value gap here, this daily fair value gap that's come down and being rebalanced currently, as you can see. But right now we have got good targets below, and the bearish nature of the Nasdaq right now is probably dumping Bitcoin down as well. A little look at the Nasdaq here, and you can see a little bit of chop over the past few days has led to Bitcoin having a bit of a reaction as well. You can see obviously this was all instigated by the tariff, by the Donald Trump basically threatening 100% tariffs on China. Obviously that caused all of this original dump and that huge liquidation from last week. We get a little bounce up, but you can see we've got this huge daily, what I would call a BPR, a balanced price range, where basically you've got a fair value gap here and here. We come up into this area and get a massive rejection, as you would expect, because this is two fair value gaps stacked on top of each other. Big area where you're probably going to get people starting to sell. And you can see here we get this big continuation down, currently bouncing at the next fair value gap below, but we have got good targets below here. We've got this Fibonacci level which hasn't been readdressed in a good while, the 127 Fibonacci, the big psychological 100k area as well. I think we could go down and hit that as well. Just judging by this momentum right now to the downside, I would say that Bitcoin probably got a good chance of continuing, but obviously going into the weekend where we have lower volatility, we're probably going to be having a little bit of a cooling off period at this area as support most likely. Next week's going to be a pivotal one. All this affects Vechain obviously, because everything for Vechain depends on what happens with Bitcoin. As you can see here, Vechain doing exactly the same as what Bitcoin was doing really. We've obviously had this range for a while. We come into the even tighter range that we've been in. Got good liquidity above, but we never got that momentum. Vechain been looking very weak all year. We obviously came down, liquidated, come all the way back up to around a 30% drop. Get a little bit of a recovery, as you can see, but now we're dropping back down again with Bitcoin dropping, although obviously because of the crazy liquidation here, not looking as stark of a drop as Bitcoin. A lot of our altcoins here have got no more liquidity to give, to be honest, so everyone's in a bit of a weird spot. We are trickling down here, but really there's not much liquidity below to be targeting because we've swept so much of it out. So right now we're kind of just in a weird spot. Maybe we could go for around a, let me just get a little 50% going. Let's change this back to my CC one. Probably looking for around a 50% of this move anyway. Maybe come back down to this area here and then get a bounce. Right now it's all dependent on Bitcoin as always, and we're going to have to see what happens over the next few weeks. As always guys, thanks a lot for watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Check back every day for daily updates and get some free money in the description below. Cheers.